Welcome, collective, to your timeless twin flames reading. Please bear in mind a few things before we get started. Please remember that I am a master healer, so if you'd like any of my services, whether it be a reading or a remote healing of any kind, wherever you are in this earthly plane, I can be of assistance for you. I also have a sister channel. The link can be found in the description box below, along with everything else that I have mentioned. And yeah, so how this is going to work is that, of course, past, present, and future energetical timelines could always come forth of resonancy. Just use your discernment to take all of which that belongs to you and leave the rest behind. So the way we're going to coordinate this is that on this side of the screen, we're going to have feminine energy. And on the other side of this, my right-hand side, we're going to have the masculine energy. Doing these readings may change from time to time, meaning how I read the energy, but mostly it's going to be left side feminine, right side masculine. And if I feel that the cards want to communicate in regards to wanting to advocate that there's any sort of communication happening that may want to be read about the two, it will be mentioned and we'll take it from there. There's sadness coming from the twin flame connections. I think it has a lot to do with individually not being heard. I feel like the connection between twin flames is easy to accept, however difficult to ponder about. And the reason why I say difficult to ponder about is because there are certain individuals within this reading that when they are to themselves or maybe at a distance from their individual, they don't understand what to fight for. However, every day there is a life to attend to. Sorry, there's a lot of sadness here. And this is for all communication between twin flames. This is not just feminine energy. It's not just masculine energy. It's not about it being about in separation or in union, because to condemn your own personal mind, battling with a belief structure and needing to find a faith in order to bring your belief structure into some sort of mechanism, is a personal situation for an individual that it's not conducive to all. It's not conducive to all of light and all of the absence of light. It's indicative of not giving a shit about your feelings. And when we come across individuals who test the elements of how much we either understand about love or don't understand about love or trust it, our mind, our physiological being, our philosophical being, our energetical being almost quote-unquote suffers in silence, because we're trying to process things on our own, with our own mind, our own heart, our own soul, and come to find some sort of reason to belong, while most of the individuals who are on a twin flame journey feel but belonging. Like you feel anything but like you belong to anything. And that's also where the tears come from, because light beings understand the pain of expectancy. And when individuals are forced with internal vibrations that are being made sense of or determined with psychological thought processes at the same time. We tend to stick to a certain formula that fits us before we change the variables for the outcome. And how it affects us is, again, very individualistic. You could be a variable. Your multifaceted issues, experiences, or viewpoints could be variables. The people that you live with or you've crossed paths with could put an input in your variable. And then you don't know at that point if the variable belongs to only you, or is it a mockery of everybody else's bullshit and perspective. So life has a transactional form of living attached to it, that when you ask for something, you may not always get exactly what it is that you're asking for and for how it looks like. But the universe always answers to something. And for those of you who really focus on, self-meditation and self-rituals, self-care rituals, you really want to be in that biometric rhythm to allow you to see the way that you can fortify life and bring sustainable energy to it, and sustainable health and sustainable joy and sustainable wellness, and to bring yourself not into the I'm just going to ignore all bad things in life, but I'm going to involve the bad things into the good things so that I feel entertained. And that's what Twin Flame is all about. The sectors of my energies, how individual they go, they make it very personal in every reading. So in the regards of it being very personal and and specific to the soul, it's not going to care whether or not you're hungry for another person to choose you or to cross your path, because you're supposed to just focus on yourself, and whatever comes in the elements of you focusing on your life, that is what to pay attention to, look forward to, and on, because those are most oftentimes the things that come in and sustain themselves in your life, rather than just, again, chaotic variables that you don't really know are coming from things until you see it in the input of the variable and the outcome is shit. And you have to look at the individual variables again and see what you can do to make the outcome in more favor of yourself, or whatever the situation you want to make it favorable for. So Twin Flames is a symbiosis, is a synergy. It's a polarizing energy of a metamorphosis. It's a unity of one, a rekindling, a journey to reunite that is so picky, so pragmatic, so simple, that the chaos of the mind will almost never accept how simple your life actually could be. And it doesn't help that you have so many distractions, whether it be in so many different responsibilities or technological advances, or even now AI being infused into taking over your thought processes and not making you have to think beyond the measurements of now. Okay. And so the light beings, they're sad for humans, because the inability to dance with your soul outside of the system is almost becoming a very needle in the haystack kind of situations to find, in how fragmented we end up being in different locations. And what I mean by that is a lot of the individuals who feel that they're like outcasts from their family, they don't belong in their family, they have a harder time finding a secure individual or thing or something that will keep them not feeling so lonely. So when, let's say, technology comes in and then shows us that, we have someone like 3 states away that we have a better spiritual understanding with, there is something that just gets easily talked about rather than with your next door neighbor or your immediate community, and it just has you thinking. It has you thinking of, do I relocate? What do I seek out of? And a lot of people on the inner light journey, starseed journey, are or have already come across that point of life examination and trying to understand what choices to make, what choices will affect others, what choices do I have to forgive or ask for forgiveness for, or do I have to communicate them, how will I feel guilty, what does that mean, what does karma mean? So there's so many questions that for an individual of like a starseed example, they would use the word sensitive when I don't like the word sensitive, because it's not a sensitivity. It is a beautification to feel sensations or an experience outside of you and be moved by it. It's power move, and it's not sensitive. If someone can feel empathy towards an individual having a brutal headache, that is empathy. That is not the person being sensitive. So English is designed to be a little bit mocking to how beautiful we can bring constructive criticism to something without the person feeling it was only criticism. It's really difficult. And isolation doesn't help when people are immediately in your surroundings that don't. It's always a battle to have a conversation. Being around them in the same room or in the same environment is like draining. It's exhaustive. It's strenuous. It's not zen. You can't expand and be yourself. And then when you meet other people who are like across earth, who share the understanding, it makes you long for something more. And then if you, let's say, you feel that you're in your twin flame connection and whatnot, they can feel more lost because they feel something and you want to return to something, but you also already battling the fact that returning to something means going forward, which is such an ironic thing to sit down and then also to try to understand, because how am I supposed to move forward, right? How am I supposed to wake up in a day and carry on and pretend like nothing was, like I'm supposed to just focus on the things that will get me through the day? And it's also not very easy for individuals who think a lot, who feel a lot, who desire to be of service for others. It's not easy to just be concerned about self. And twin flame journey puts you on that predisposition of needing to only worry about yourself, because that's when loyalty here will come to you. The introspection here, the 8 of Cups energy, is really important to help us identify that for the feminine energy at this time, the feminine energy, and it's not about you being female gender, it's about the feminine energy within us all, has to become more introspective so that you understand what loyalty actually fucking means. Alright. So I'm already feeling that because of the sadness, this is this is a all for one for all reading. Like, it will make sense for only whoever it will make sense for, and it will be for everyone involved, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of hatred you have towards love, no matter how many times you betrayed it or you've gotten betrayed. Because ultimately, no matter how your emotions will become triggered to believing this situation or not, it's really only ever going to come tied down to how loyal you are to your own introspective energy. How well do you know your own feminine energy, and how well do you know your own internal masculine energy? To understand that understanding the definition of what they mean within yourself doesn't mean that when you bring it into a conversation, it's only exclusive to feminine and only exclusive to masculine. For that, it's non-binary. So some energies for the male, the masculine energy. We have Six of Wands, achievement, and Queen of Wands, charisma. I love that feminine energy came out on the masculine side, because in order to understand introspection, you have to follow your intuition, right? And here you kind of almost see her Two of Wands aspect here, all right? She almost has it in her hand, and she's sitting on a throne, and it gives me the Four of Wands appeal here. And Four of Wands, we love when it comes up in a twin flame reading because, well, depending on the context, I believe, but it does bring some sort of reassurance. No, it's not here, but it's not about giving you satisfaction. It's about teaching and it being a teachable moment. And that teachable moment makes you a student and thus also a master, because mastering that self of discovery allows you to learn how to communicate and teach others of what you've mastered. It's a beautiful language. Here you see blue and green. Blue is a communication for me of what it means for a lot of individuals to go back into believing in something of a higher power and not think of it of white light but blue light, because it'll affect you physically, which is going to be the third eye. It's going to affect you and how you think once you tap into that energy, no matter what. And it's not the white light, it's coming from white light, and it's of white light, but it's going to attack some mystical energies within you, and it's going to humble you drastically, because it's going to give you what these cups are insinuating for me, different perspectives of time, because these are like hourglasses. Time is not controlled. Time is not linear. Time is not half glass, half glass empty, half glass full. That is a trajectory to understand how maybe you can become introspective with the connections that you make, and whether on first impressions basis it's okay to fortify a relationship of that kind. But they're all coming of one, towards one, returning back to one, with a massive divide in the middle right now because of light and darkness. And a lot of people being in a transgressional period of only producing darkness, as much as they're also only individuals that are producing only white light. And that cannot exist. It will never be stable. It has to be a formalization of you intertwine the dark side of you, and you intertwine the light aspects of you, and you dance in that symbiosis. And doing that will attack the heart chakra, the masculine energy here. And if anyone understands anything about colors, the pink color shows up in the heart chakra when you've done a lot of healing, because the pink is where it starts coming into meeting your crown chakra, because the crown chakra can be violet and pink as well. But it starts happening in the vibration of the heart chakra, being able to turn pink. That's how pure you can be. That's how wise you can be. That's how most charismatic you can be as an individual, just for your fucking self. Just for yourself. You can slow down time. You don't owe people anything, no matter how many times they knock on the door, no matter how chaotic it is. There's sometimes maybe a need to get out of that chaotic world, and some people can timeline jump. Some people can do it. Alright, so we're going to look into feminine energy some more. Let's see what's going on here. Pay attention to your surroundings for a minute. It will help you understand the things to be introspective about, to hold on to maybe be secretive about, okay? True manifestation never gets actually talked about. The moment you utter the words out loud, you break a cycle. Feminine energies are involved in a lot of relationships at this time, whether it be the relationships of family and friends, sure, but it's also causing them to be a little bit imbalanced with what it is that you're asking for it yourself, for your future self, because your twin is reliant on listening and feeling you out here, okay? They're reliant on you making a move. Here you have the green, you're wearing the green dress, where the masculine energy is in the world of green, all right? They want you to feel more compassionate, slow down, smell the roses, take care of yourself more, self-love, understand your pain, heal your traumas, heal your sexual traumas, all right? Heal your past life traumas, heal through traveling through time, traveling through light, and traveling through your body. Get to know your body. The masculine wants to beautify the world of feminine. It is an absolute need. It's an absolute desire. You can't function without ever thinking that way. And although it's all coming up for feminine energy, it's because you're being already anointed by the masculine energy's world of existence, because you're wearing the color green. Okay, you're looking at love from a different angle. You've healed a lot, okay, but we're not talking about, yeah, it's like some 10 of Wands. You've healed a lot, all right? Look how beautiful that green card came up. I love that the green card here is for Wands energy, because it really speaks about an other perspective of looking at fiery energy. All right, Wands is fiery energy. It's chaotic, it's chaos, but I mean, some of y'all are smoking yourselves into Zen, all right? And in that world, your imagination runs wild in connectivity and communicating with your other half, all right? And really feeling that symbiosis of reality coming from polarizing energies, all right? And this is, please understand, this is both feminine and masculine energy. This is not gender specific, because I see multiple ways of this showing up, right? Feminine is very literally here. It could be a blonde girl and a brunette, a dark-haired girl here. Very cute, all right? Kind of young, wanting to find each other really fucking quick, all right? They're adamant in finding each other. And the young souls now are quicker in being able to do that if they're not as distracted with all the technological advances. Because if they're not distracted with all the technological advances and they're keeping their spirit in wraps, they're only really focused on getting to each other. So this is exciting energy for them, because this is something for two females who love each other. I mean, give it like 6 months for y'all to cross paths, all right? If you haven't seen the person yet. If this is about a female-bodied individual and a masculine-bodied individual, this masculine-bodied person doesn't have time to speak on things yet. They're excited, but they don't have time to speak on things yet, all right? And for that, we need to give you the masculine and feminine connection a word of advice. And advice is for the female-bodied individual to learn about discipline. because this discipline about themselves, no matter how much they know about it, no matter how much admittance may be required to admit they may or may not have it, is required for the masculine energy to open up their eyes and be like, oh, I think I found her. I think I finally found her. I think I finally found her. I can get going. But there's a spark needing to happen with a new feminine energy for this energy to wake up for the masculine bodied individual. Okay, it's very specific in that regard. Let it flow and let it go if it don't. All right. We have Page of Swords. Wow. Education. Look at that. I mean, can it be any more clearer? All right. In order to embody feminine energies, introspective and love for herself, for him or herself, this feminine energy is about loving truth and reason and loving spark and loving to dance and have fun. And every encounter is an adventure. It is fucking cute. All right. And at the same time, that energy, if that resonates with you on the feminine energy side, this is not about it being a female-bodied feminine energy. This is about you looking in the mirror and dancing on your own as you are in your own world. In your own world. You need to dance. Dance, dance, dance. Exist as if the individuals are already here. You're doing it all already. It's so cute. Do it more. Wiggle those hips. Strap on the music and dance naked. You know, like live your life. Go on an adventure. Take yourself out on a date. Write that journal. Keep that journal. Just live your life. Your life. In your imaginations that beckons for an individual to come and meet you halfway. It's not about them meeting you and you apply yourself into the relationship. It's about them being exactly what it is that you are ready to explain about what you've discovered for yourself. And then you realize you have to explain nothing because this individual already knows exactly how you are. Experience teaches you that, ladies and gentlemen, all those in between and beyond of the feminine energy side. Experience teaches you that. Now, we're going for it with the masculine energy here. Let's see what the masculine energy is, you know, they're staying asleep here. And we already know that they're staying asleep because in their darkness of world, they can't feel you, feminine energy. They can't feel you. They just hear your song and dance. They feel your vibration of movements, but they can't hear you. And the reason why they can't hear you is because you're distracted with a bunch of chaotic emotions. All right, whether it's pulled because you have children, responsibilities, all of it are emotional relationships that you're having, and none of them you have figured out. So they're all distractions and all burdens, the cause of what it means for you to take yourself seriously and handle your burdens, because you need to lessen your burdens to be able to attend and be aware and available of anybody else's burdens. You have to come first. So there's an element of what you need to understand, right, of the feminine energy, what the masculine energy still needs to wake up for, because in their mind state, their energy of inactivity is because their eyes are closed, okay, as in sleeping. They're sleeping and have an imagination. Is this physically happening right now? Maybe, but this is not the point of the reading. What's happening is that the energy around them, they're sleeping. This person is not rocking with their intuition. This person is rocking with their obsession, their ego. And they do not understand that the ego is also an operational energy of light. But what they don't understand is why consistently when they feel this way, it brings them achievement. Well, that's what the ego is there to do. The ego is there to dance in the chaos of it all and toss you things that it thinks you may need to become successful. Okay? The devil card here is the word obsessed. All right? This person is obsessed about getting their shit together in a way of trying to understand why they cannot have a person around in their life that meets their emotional desires. It's because they don't understand that the ego is about not giving shit about their fucking emotions. It is a formula. It likes variables and will take whatever variable and toss whatever variables are left of the equation out to you. Whether it fits you, the variable doesn't give a shit about. But if you don't ever move from the situation, change the variables, just like feminine had to understand that too. The masculine is going to be stuck in a world where they're feeling their, see this moon here is fucking giant, all right? But it's white compared to where your moon here in the feminine energy is pink, right? It was red before, angry, and pink here wise. Right here it's white. It's operating with white light and pure intentions. But the person is obsessed with the light aspects of things and also is not doing shadow work to understand why some of those obsessions are, again, distractions of the variables that are putting toxins into the whole formula. So there are tons of distractions for this masculine energy at this time. For this masculine, for their waking day and their in their travelings and their experiences and as soon as they get out the fucking door, they need to be punched in the face with reality. And that punch in the face is an ego check, to be honest. Okay, it's an ego check. Let's see what else comes up for the masculine here. Yeah, ego check, drama, Knight of Swords. All right, but isn't it interesting? Here in the feminine, the Page of Swords is secure, and here, like, you stand proudly. And here, this individual is like, yeah, I got my sword. But also eyes closed. I mean, all these eyes are closed, I get it, but there's this statuesque coming from this energy where this one is a bit more, I don't know exactly what it is that I'm doing, but I want to do it. Which is also good, because if you are someone who comes to my channel, you also see the devil series readings that I do, where I talk about the devil being an energy of your ego not knowing whether it's of light or of darkness or wants to play a game. That's exactly the kind of shit that's happening right now with the masculine energy. It wants to play a game. It wants to figure itself out. It wants to understand all this drama. And some of that is then being surrounded by karmic individuals who provide this drama. Some of you are also in a bit of a sticky situation where the meeting of your twin flame is going to abrupt home. Because someone's person is living with another individual. And it may be that this individual, this masculine energy, has kids with someone else. It's not important to a twin flame connection. It's more important for the lesson for the masculine energy and this karmic connection of the Queen of Wands that they have. Or letting go of, or trying to understand how to maybe get this person out of their life. You have the Six of Pentacles, doing it with kindness, huh? And Ten of Pentacles. For some of you, it might be hard for the twin to actually wake up, because someone may be dealing with an individual where, again, the masculine energy here is having kids, and these kids are important to this connection. And they're trying to bring kindness into accepting how to say, I have to move on, this is no longer working, and I need something else. And this is going to take some time. there are things that feminine energy could do for this to speed up, but it has nothing to do with rituals, because that would mean you're tainting the loyalty involved here with the former person, meaning, yeah, your person having chosen the person that they have in their life now. So doing anything like any kind of like soul magic or soulmate or calling your partner in while they're partnered up is not good karma. Leave it alone. For that, become introspective. Do it the vibrational way. Feminine energy fighting. And the way that feminine is fighting is not fighting for the masculine, it's fighting for clarity. Fighting for a reason and understanding. Fighting for... Honestly, I'm feeling the Queen of Swords energy. Because of all this drama. Feminine wants to lessen the drama, or just cut out unimportant drama. Like they like their world, and they don't want to be tied to anyone else's bullshit, which makes sense in a twin flame. You don't want to be involved in bullshitry. You want to forego connections of karmic endeavors, yeah. Even if it means needing to be at a distance from the person that you feel. It's totally fine for feminine energy at this time, because feminine energy loves his or her intuition, the game that they get to play with it. And it's not because it feels good, but it's an easier, understandable formula of variables to take, rather with things you can see, hear, and feel in absence of. Yeah, it's easier to feel. It's very masculine and feminine energy at this time with the Emperor card here. Yep, because the Moon energy and the Nine of Swords. It's very painful. It's very painful for this connection to exist in separation too much longer. And it's not that it's going to be a worrisome situation for them to be in separate situations and maybe never meet in this lifetime. But what will happen is that the higher self is going to have to forego and completely focus on something, and that something might be a distraction. And then the overall secret could be another trajectory of a decade, of an era gone by, missing out on an intuitive call. Close out this reading. So I quickly have to pull some cards here for masculine energy due to upload reasons. Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, and Three of Swords. Yeah, the twin flame connection for some of you is a difficult one because the tangible world, it doesn't make sense and hasn't aligned up for the majority of you. Even if you are a twin flame in union here, it's material world that is hard to battle with each other. But this is mostly, like I said, about an energy, about the masculine energy being completely not yet in the physical third dimension in transactional union with their twin partner because of multifaceted distractions, but it's ultimately just causing them more pain. That's all I have for you at this time. May you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. May you check also any of the services in the description box below to see if you'd like my assistance. Take care.